Hello there, Qckslvrslash, and today I'm driving the Tier 7 British cruiser, the Fiji. And these games just keep coming, and I think it's because after Tier 6 and the Leander, these ships just keep building, getting a little bit better with each one. Yesterday's video, I praised the Leander, had a great game in it, live. And I unlocked the Fiji. I've played a couple games in it. This is still stock configuration, no upgrades. You can see I even forgot to paint the thing. Which I know at least one of you is going to enjoy that I'm not running a camouflage. Because occasionally I get comments going, they're hideous with camouflage. So here she is, plain old grey hull. But the Fiji is just another step up from Leander. Each of the barrels is now triple turreted. And everything just feels a little bit better. And I absolutely am falling in love with this line of ships. And I think it's needed because there's definitely a lot of hate out there for the British cruisers. People saying, they're wrong, like, how dare they not include HE? Brits had HE. Yes, they did, but if every ship in the game were identical playstyle, there'd be no unique aspect to it, so they did something different. And is it good or bad? That's up to a bit of personal opinion. I personally really like it, and I like what these AP shells do to thinly armored targets. However, you do see that Pensacola manages a very good chunk of damage on me with those 203s. I return the favor with a pair of Citadels, and I'm just gonna work this guy down till he's dead. These 152s have amazing rate of fire. And you can see I'm getting like 6,000 damage a volley, even when I'm not citadeling him, which means he's dead here. And there he goes. So next, I start working on the Fuso, Tier 6 battleship, and maybe I should have started on the Qckslvrslash right away, but I felt trying to help my guys is a little more necessary. As you can see, they had one more ship on this side than us, possibly two if there's a DD over here. But with us having eliminated one, it's 2 BBs and 2 cruisers versus 3 battleships and 1 cruiser. And, well, things were going good until we lost our first battleship to some torps, which means there's also a DD over here. And I'm fairly safe from torpedoes in this smoke. I've got my hydroacoustic search up. It's going to give me plenty of early warning. But right here, I'm backing up because I know the smoke's not going to last forever. I see those battleships coming around to the south, so I want to put this, well, not big island, but small island between me and them, try to break the visual lines as much as possible so it's just harder to hit me. Maybe their shells will be able to hit me, but it might make it harder for them to aim at me. I go back to working on the Fuso because you just have to keep these guns firing. That's how you get good damage, and I've got some good damage already. 43,000 damage in, 5 minutes into the match, and I didn't really start shooting things till about a minute and a half ago. And these British cruisers just rack up the damage. As long as you're shooting, you're getting, I'd say, about 3,000 to 4,000 damage per volley, and with a volley every 7.5 seconds, that definitely adds up. So right here, I'm going to focus on the Fuso. I could be shooting at the Qckslvrslash, but he's a ways off, he's stern on, it's not really going to help my team. Whereas if I can get rid of this Fuso, definitely helps that Nagato out. Hopefully I can keep them alive, because they're on very low health. And I'm not really aiming for the right part on this Fuso. I'm hitting right at midships where there isn't much superstructure to penetrate. I should move my shell a little farther forward, try to hit that conning tower. And that's what I do right here, and you're going to see it's going to pay off. I'm going to do more damage because I'm actually hitting superstructure. That amounted to about 2,500 there between all those hits. And there's the kill. So 1 ship down, but got a lot of work to do. You can see it's just me and a Omaha versus a Königsberg, Colorado, an unknown destroyer somewhere, and another battleship that I can't see right now. And that definitely puts me in a tight situation. So I use that excellent acceleration and maneuverability to just get out. I'm not spotted right now. I'm just going to try to remain that way. And then I get spotted again. And I go back to shooting the Qckslvrslash. I'm figuring that the DD is somewhere over in this area, in the middle of B cap protecting it. And what's weird, as I try to put this island between me and where I think he is, you can see my detection's not being broken. And this is going to hurt me in a second, because one of those battleships is going to get a single juicy shell into me. And there it is. Everything lands in the water, but that last one does 12,000 damage, taking me down to kind of the end of my health. So I think the DD was actually really down here, and I misread where he was. So I was actually driving more and more into being open. Once again, putting another island behind me, and I'm using this island to help me figure out where this spotting's coming from. You can use the ring and what's detected, or not detected, to figure it out. And obviously none of these guys are detecting me, so it's gotta be something in this part of the cap. So based on when I lose detection here driving around this island, I'll know roughly where their destroyer is. And that may be a little more advanced gameplay than some people have, but it's a very useful technique, and I've had DDs complain that I'm hacking and all kinds of things, running bots or whatever, because I was magically able to figure out where they were without them ever being detected. Well, it's not hard when there's only one thing that could possibly be detecting you. If the Qckslvrslash or something were in my detection range as well, I may be none the wiser to their presence, but because that DD is so much further ahead, clearly it's him detecting me. And the Qckslvrslash gets redetected, having reversed course, and I'm not thinking about it too much right now, but I'm not redetected now that I'm here, which probably means that destroyer is kind of kitty corner opposite side of this island for me, and they definitely are, because you can see B is now getting capped. So we basically circled around the island. He stayed just outside detection range, and well, I'm not going to stand for that. So I'm going to try to finish this Qckslvrslash off. Hopefully this is the last volley I need, but I may end up needing one more if I don't actually hit him. But I do, and I find their Minakaze. So in this situation, he's about halfway through the cap. Obviously want to get at least one shot in him to reset that cap. With my teammates hit and mine, we go right back to the start. I've got hydroacoustic up so that those torpedoes are not going to be able to surprise me. And I'm just going to charge that smoke. He's used all his torpedoes, there's no risk to me. Just got to get him in hydro range, and then I can just rip him to pieces with these shells. And you can see 2 barrels worth are 2,000 damage, 3,000 damage. And sorry, not 2 barrels, 2 turrets. And just further evidence of how well these British cruisers do against destroyers. And it's just that shorter fuse time means the shells actually do penetration damage with AP rather than overpen. So obviously my next target has to be this Colorado. And I think he makes a mistake here. I think he should have turned to the south, stayed with his other buddy. There's only a couple of them left. When you're down to the last few ships on your team, you have to stick together. And what they're doing here, whether purposely or not, is splitting up, and it's going to allow me to focus one of them down without any risk of getting shot by the other. So I back up into my smoke because, well, smoke is like this cruiser's safety blanket. Never want to go far without it. And just start working this Colorado down. I've got the Omaha up to the north and these battleships to make sure he stays spotted. So no risk of him breaking detection, at least for now. And I'm just going to work him over as he still manages to hit me in this smoke. And I got a little lucky there. But I'm getting really good damage. And I hope it's just showing like how effective this AP can be against battleships. Even when he's turning bow in, I'm just going to keep firing. Yeah, I'm not getting huge damage. Still 500 damage there. And if I hit the right spot on his superstructure, it's going to pen again, and I'm going to do a little more. Thankfully, though, he gives me his side. I think he just wants to die at this point, so I grant him that wish as my smoke starts to dissipate and pick up my Kraken. And for one of the first games I've had in this, it feels almost identical playstyle to the Leander. I wouldn't really say you have to change anything. The only difference is you've got more guns, which means more damage, more shells, and I definitely put my fair share into enemy targets that game. You guys know I liked the Leander, and I love the Fiji as well. And I think this game just proved that point. 319,000 credits, 10,000 experience. Granted, there's some challenges going on that if you win, you get 200% on the win of the day, or the win, not the win of the day, just on the win, and you get that up to 5 times. I ended up getting Dreadnought, which is ridiculous in a British cruiser. Somehow I managed that. And Kraken, 89,000 damage, only 3 citadels, but 5 kills with 248 shells. This thing is a bullet hose, and I love it. 1877 base experience, and look at the damage spread. And that 26,000 to the Colorado was just consistently hitting him like non-stop until he was dead. And oddly enough, it's one of those battles where every target I shot at, I killed. Kind of the inverse of that Fletcher one from the other day where I did 170,000 damage with no kills. So you win some, you lose some, and this one was definitely a win. And I just had so much fun. This line comes into its own at tier 6, and it's just up, up, up. 270,000 credits that I took home, 10,000 experience, 21,000 XP for my commander because of my flags. Oh, he's gonna get trained really quick. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving me a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. Both help me stay motivated to keep producing content. And as always, I'm Qckslvrslash. I'll have another one for you guys tomorrow.